And guess who's finally arrived? Oh my God. Some days I just cannot get my act together, and this will go down in history as one of those days. Just out, about running my mouth, talking to people, and looked at my watch and was like, oh my God, I have a show starting in 20 minutes. Why am I still in downtown Oakland? Get in my car and fly on 580 as fast as I could. But of course, there's traffic, and so that just didn't happen. So here I am. But hi, everybody. We're here. We're going to do the show. For those of you wandering in who don't, aren't real clear on what's going on here, today is the advice day. We do a live stream advice column. I used to, years ago, produce a written one, but now it is in video form. So the questions come to me in this document here, carefully crafted by my lovely cousin Candace Williams. And then I read the questions to you and then I come up with an answer. So if you have written in a question and you hear your question today, listen not only to what I have to say, but also check out, what's going on in the chat room because they, often have something to augment it or they have some information that maybe I don't have because they're in that location where you actually live. They are there. So they know more about what's available in that community than I do. So sometimes, we answer the questions together. And so if you have a question today, please be sure to check the chat stream. All right, you guys ready? We have a total today of, okay, here's the last page, 24 questions. Oh my God. 24 questions. Yes, kind of Candace be working at least once a week. I'll be talking about her, but yeah, she do something about once a week. So let's get started with What the Fuck Tuesday for June 23rd, the year 2020. This is from a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Kansas City, Missouri. She says, Dear Deb, I'm hoping to get some clarity from you, as everyone I've talked to has told me not to leave my marriage. I'm 32, my husband is 41. We have a 5-year-old son together. My husband has a 12-year-old daughter. I am not the same woman that I was when I was in my 20s and began dating him. He told me lots of lies and I believed them. Oh. Anyway, he has a landscaping business. Because he's so bad with finances, he often, quote, forgets to make his child support payments and is seriously behind. He says that his tax preparer dropped the ball and forgot to submit his 2017, 2018 and is still working on his 2019 taxes. We file separately. When the stimulus checks came out, I told him to get the non-filers form on the IRS site so that he can get his stimulus payment. He told me that if he did, that he's not getting the money because it will go to his ex. I told him I know, submit it anyway so that the payment can go towards his child support balance. He told me he tried to submit it, but it got rejected. I'm pretty sure he's lying. It's been months. And he's still claiming that his tax preparer is still working on his taxes. I can't sleep knowing that I'm with a man who won't even be responsible enough to make sure his child gets a stimulus check in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, that's a dusty ass motherfucker. That's all I can say. I don't blame you. Let's read on. I want to leave him. I told him that I wanted a divorce. He got upset and punched my passenger door on my truck, and I now have a dent in it. My dad spoke to him and told him that my dad told me that my husband told him he only punched my car because I was provoking him by being so disrespectful and that he only punched my car because he didn't want to punch me. My dad said that we need to work through our issues and try to save our marriage. Your dad is dusty as fuck too. I tried talking to my best friend about everything, and she said he is a good guy and he is trying, and I shouldn't leave a good man who is trying. She didn't ask if he could take care of the lawn on one of her rental properties. Church folks said I should stay. They all think he is a good man. It seems like people feel that if he's not beating me or cheating on me, that I should try to work it out. I don't want to. I want to be a single mother and buy a house for myself. Girl, I don't blame you. He sounds stupid. Thanks you, Farida. I can see why you're only 32 years old, and you have a man, luckily you file separately so that if any kind of, attachments or anything go down, um, and you can prove that something is your separate property and that you own a separate free and clear of him, they won't take your stuff. But he's about to lose his business. He about to lose everything. And when that happens and they attach his bank accounts and all the stuff that he owns and take his trucks and his equipment that he uses to run his business and everything, he's not going to have anything. And so you don't want to be there when that happens. Okay, you want to be gone. The thing about it is, as long as you have an order for child support in place, they will attach everything but that because the kids come first. So they will make sure that your kid, the 5-year-old that you have with him, gets a monthly child support check out of his ass. Other than that, they're going to take everything until he pays them what he owes. Now, um, it's hard to respect a man, and I understand what you feel. It's hard to respect a man who won't even do something though so to help his child get something that's not costing him anything. It's not like the money's coming out of his pocket. It's not taking anything away from him. It's money that he just won't get, but it's going to go towards his arrearages and to help that child during, as you point out, the pandemic. But he won't even do that. So it's the kind of thing where you start looking at your husband with a serious side eye. And it's like you can't respect him as a man. You can't respect him as a father. He just like a dusty bum. And you sit there wondering, did I not see this before? Is it like I have new eyes now? Or was he like this before and I just was so young and immature that I didn't know? Those are questions that we start asking ourselves. I've been there. And, so there's some guilt mixed in with that, confusion, anger, hurt. You have a lot of things going on. But one thing, just since he was violent towards you, and he, damaged your truck. And then your father talked to him, and your father went with that excuse. Well, I only did it because she provoked me, and I hit her because I didn't. I hit the truck because I didn't want to hit her. See, that's when your father's supposed to say, "No, motherfucker, you lucky you didn't hit her because the second you did, every male in my family is riding on your ass, and we gonna stomp you into the car and cut your hands off so you can't hit nobody else." That's what they were supposed. Your daddy was supposed to tell him, but he's a bitch. So you got a bunch of bitch made men around you. I'm very sorry that this happened. So you're gonna have to plan your departure from this guy carefully because he doesn't sound like he's wrapped too tight. And consult. Where did you say you are? Kansas City, Missouri. Consult with the police, and they have like those battered women shelters that have, they're skilled in knowing what's the best way to de-escalate something and get away from a crazy man. Please stop and consult with them before you do anything. Okay, they'll know exactly what you need to do in this area to make yourself and your child as safe as possible. Um, but I don't blame you. I'd want to leave him too. And once you do, try to see if you can leave that area and be, far away from him, at least for a while. Church folks don't understand, they think their bar for what's a good man is so low. Just because somebody doesn't hit you and doesn't, uh, has a job or what makes some money, that doesn't make him a good man. That doesn't make him a good man for you. It just makes him a basic motherfucker. Okay, any adult male is supposed to be doing those things. And hitting on a woman is illegal. So he's not supposed to do that. So that shouldn't even be on the table as a discussion. You know, I'm totally with you. I totally feel where you're coming from, girl. I just empathize with you so much. This is very, very sad. That he's as old as he is and it's this dusty, but you're only 32. You got many, 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 many years ahead of you to live a joyful life. You can be with a man or not, whatever you want to do, but make sure that you end this soon. I don't know what the laws are about divorce in Kansas City, Missouri, but here in California, they have what's called a bifurcation. Once you file that with the courts, any and all communal debts stop as of that day. That's what you want to do, so that anything he's getting ready to fuck up, your half, if you guys are in a community property state, your half of the debt will stop effective that date. Okay, that's as far as you go. So look into that, consult with an attorney or with a divorce attorney. But like I said, make sure that you have a good conversation with those battered women shelters and their police representative to get the real scoop on what you need to do to safely leave the situation in Kansas City, Missouri. Thanks you, mommy. Yeah, the dusty, the dusty winds is a blowing. This poor lady. All right, let's move on to question number 2. This is from a male, 30 to 36 in Washington, D.C. He says, for some reason, a lot of my matches on dating sites lately have been taller women. One that I talked to on the phone and I'm planning to talk to again is 6 feet. Whoa. And I'm going to have a conversation with another one that's 5'9". I've also messaged a few others in that range. For reference, I'm 5'10". With the one that's 6 feet, I told her that I had a profile open while we were talking and I messaged her because I like what she wrote about one of her interests. When I said, is this right that you're 6 feet tall? She said, and she's comfortable with her height and she doesn't care about the guy's height. I told her I don't really care either. That was the last we mentioned about it. The truth is, I don't quite know how it would feel to look up to a woman, but my gut feeling is that I would get used to it. If we have good chemistry and it won't be an issue. As I was thinking about it, her profile didn't show any pictures from the waist down, and I don't know if she's embarrassed about having long legs. I was also imagining these women with long legs and looking at some other profiles. I think they're really cute, so it may actually be a positive. I've heard someone say with a taller woman, you can use it as an icebreaker and ask if it's helped or hurt them with dating and what the pros and cons are in general, but don't know if it's something to just avoid altogether or not. What are your thoughts? Well, I wouldn't say that it would be an icebreaker, but I would say that it would be something to talk about at some point, because you want to get her perspective on it and learn, what she's had to deal with. And the main thing is that you don't want to use it as anything to mock her with. If you ever tease her about her height, like you gonna call out, you all gonna get mad and you gonna call her the Jolly Green Giant or some silly shit like that, then we would have a problem. But any kind of crack that includes, some kind of put down about her height. Make sure that you don't do that. You sound like you have good sense, so you probably won't. But I'm just reminding you because sometimes people, in the heat of the moment, they think they're being funny, and they think that what they're saying is humorous and that the other person won't mind. And I'm telling you not to do that. Okay. But if you sound pretty mature about the whole thing, and I don't think, looking up to a woman in height, especially if her legs are the thing that's the tallest on her, once you sit down, that won't even be an issue anyway. And if you're not intimidated, I mean, 5'10" is a good height for a man. So, she can put on her little heels and stuff and y'all can walk around and it'll be all good. It's not like you 5'5", so you should be fine. Those are my thoughts anyway. I don't know. That's kind of an interesting question. You're hecka late, Diana. Shoot, do you know I just got here like 10 minutes ago myself? I was flying on the freeway, all sweaty and stuff. I'm still sweaty because I was rushing trying to hurry up and get here. It's terrible. Okay. Let's move on to question number 3. Female 37 to 45. She just says California. Hi, Deb. Thanks for investing your time helping women who are willing to listen, learn, and grow. Personally, I could use some help navigating my mom's aging and helping her without minimizing or ignoring her wishes. My mom is 79 and we are very close. I try to spend time with her almost every day. Other than COPD and AFib, which are managed with medication, she's healthy and active. But over the last 2 months, she has taken 3 really bad falls while walking her dog. She hasn't broken any bones, but she usually ends up with really bad cuts and large bruises. She doesn't tell me about her falls, so I don't know how many she has had over the last year. I just know about the recent 3 because the evidence was too difficult for her to hide. When I ask her why she doesn't tell me, she says it's not a big deal because she just twisted her ankle. I have asked her to walk with a cane and she says she doesn't need it. I'm trying to get her a safety bracelet that detects falls, but she says it's not necessary. I am really concerned for her health, but I also want to be respectful of her wishes. The thought of losing my mom or finding her paralyzed from a fall instantly brings tears to my eyes.
I'm a grown ass woman. When I think about the day my mom is gone, I cry like a toddler. Girl, I feel you. I'm not ready for this natural phase of life. I know I can't stop the clock and have her live forever, but how can I make the most out of the time we have so we don't spend it arguing over health and safety issues? Any advice you can provide will be greatly appreciated. I would suggest what you just wrote was so heartfelt, I feel choked up. This shows some of the utmost love and concern for your mama. There's no mother in this world, if their child presented their argument like this and cried in front of them, expressing their concern and fear, that they would say no to what you're talking about. So that would be my suggestion. To tell her just what you've told me in this letter, how you feel. Cry if you need to. She needs to see how serious this is. She's just all in her pride, talking about, well, no, I don't need it and this and that. And you're worried about her pride. You can't do that. So you're going to have to tell her, just share exactly what you said here, the way that you said it. I mean, it's like a heartstring puller, and it's real. Now, the other alternative that I don't know, sounds like your mom lives separately, and you just say you're in California. Okay, I don't know where. Um, every county has what's called in-home support services offered through social services. Now, depending upon your mother's retirement income, she may, her share of the cost of that may be pretty high. But what you should do is look into getting someone who can be at the house with her for so many hours a day. That person can accompany her when she walks her dog. Okay, so that person, you know how people they hold onto the old person's arm. The old person can hold the dog, but chances are, especially if the dog is stronger than your mother, that's why she's falling because the dog runs ahead. You know how they do? They get anxious. They smell something exciting, and they just pull on the leash, and if she's a little old lady without good balance, that would cause her to tumble. So, I know, you don't want to say, oh, get rid of the dog, maybe replace it with a cat. That might be better for her because cats don't need to be walked. You see what I mean? She would still have a companion and something to rub on and talk to and all of that, but it wouldn't be a dog that she has to get out and walk. And that could, be contributing to her falling. But I would suggest that look into, the in-home support services thing, and that person could be there. Maybe I don't know if you go in the morning, you go after work. You didn't say, but the hours when you can't be there, that person can, and then your mom goes to bed you know. So I'd look into that and see what the cost is. You can even have a relative do it or a family friend as long as they're registered with the county. I think there's like a fingerprinting process or whatever that they have to go through, but to make sure they're not a criminal. But other than that, pretty much anybody that you designate can take on that role as long as they pass the inspection, the inspections. But yeah, this is something that a lot of us are, gonna face if our parents live. Unfortunately, mine did not, but it would have been something we probably would have had to think about too, for my mother. But both of my parents passed away, so it didn't really come up. But this is the age where we are. I mean, once you start getting in your mid 40s, depending on where you were in the lineup, like if you're near the end of the kid group, you're the youngest and stuff like that, then your parents could be on up there in years and they start deteriorating and this kind of stuff starts happening. So this is a reality that a lot of us could be facing. So thank you for this question. Question number 4, female, 21 to 26, Richmond, Virginia. I just wanted to say thank you, and you have changed my life for the better since 2017. I have recently started dating this guy for 2 months. He's African. I know you don't like African guys with an accent, but I'm also African with an accent. Well, okay. Everything is going well, but the only issue is that he wants us to go 50-50 on conversations. He wants me to call and text first if he isn't able to call first. I'm used to guys texting me first, so I have no idea if this is a deal breaker if I text and call him first. It's not about all the time because sometimes he also calls and texts first. Last week was crazy. He did not text first, so I thought he was busy. We ended up not talking for 4 days until I finally reached out to him and asked what was going on. And he told me that he thought I left him and that he was crying. Idiot. I promise to reach out to him if he doesn't. Should I be worried? Everything else is going well smoothly. I don't want this to be a deal breaker because our relationship is so good. Apart from that miscommunication. Thank you, Deb. What is wrong with him? Why is he okay? This is the thing. Tell him, and this is going around the internet too. Yeah, 50-50, he's stupid. Tell him that the sperm chases the egg. Okay, women are the eggs, males are the sperm. Tell him that you will call him here and there, but you ain't going to call him no 50-50. Tell him if that's really what he wants, and he's going to be sitting there with a little pencil and what they call an abacus, keeping track of how many times you call and text versus how many times he calls and texts. Tell him that you don't have time for that and it's juvenile and silly and that you don't want to be bothered. And it's great that the relationship is great in other parts, but you don't really understand what this means. See, that's why when people write to me and they get the idea, okay, this is a concept, a foundational concept under which he is operating a relationship. Under what other else things he gonna be doing 50-50 tit for tat, measuring shit all the time? Did you ever think of that? Where does this end? Okay, don't nobody should enter a relationship like this, where they're gonna be measuring stuff and keeping score. Well, you didn't call me, so we didn't talk for 4 days. You a bitch. That's what I would have told him. What kind of man does that? You want to talk to your woman, motherfucker, pick up the phone. You don't know how to do that? You can be sitting there like a little bitch cowering on by the other end of the phone at your house, waiting 4 days for somebody to call you. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what he would have got from me, accent or not. You are stupid, sir. And so you really need to lay down the law with him and say, look, motherfucker, we're not doing that. So you want to talk to me, you need to make it happen. If I want to talk to you, I will make it happen. But you're gonna sit up there, with this little calendar thing marking dates and times and who called who and stuff. I don't have time for that shit. Cause then you're gonna be like, well, I washed 5 dishes and you only washed 4. You need to wash an extra dish. Well, I changed the baby's diaper 5 times yesterday, and you only changed it 3. So today you have to do 5 times, and I'm gonna do 3. You see what I mean? This is somebody you don't have time for this kind of stuff. So you tell him now, and you expect that he gets it and that he stops doing this. If he continues doing this, I don't care how good the relationship is, leave him alone. Because this is somebody who's stupid. And I'm telling you, this concept that he has of the communication is going to carry through the entire relationship. He's going to be a tit for tatter through everything that he does, every energy that he exerts. He's going to want to see it's reciprocal to the penny, to the dime, to the minute on your part. Is that how you want to have a relationship? That wouldn't be some shit I would recommend. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. It's just, yeah, he's just whiny and shit, just stupid. Sitting up there crying. Oh my God, I would have cussed him out. You crying because nobody called you? Girl, you should have cussed him out with your accent. That's what you should have been doing. Let's move on to question number 4. I'm telling you, Dusty's with an accent, I can't do it. I just can't. Female, 21 to 26, Richmond, Virginia. Oh, wait, that's the one I just read. Okay, question number happened? Thanks for telling me. I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything. I did not touch anything. If it went soundless and it did it by itself. Well, anyway, what happened is, wow, that's so bizarre. I don't know what happened. You guys missed the letter. Okay, let me give you the highlights. This girl is in the 21 to 26 age group in Canada. Her boyfriend's 35. He needed $300 for his rent in April. She gave it to him. He gave her $100 back and said he was going to give her the rest, but he only gave her $60. Said, I'll give it back next month. Now it's June. She hasn't seen the money yet. He pawned his PlayStation because he can't pay his rent this month. He borrowed $40 to pay his rent insurance from his sister. Now, this is when it got interesting. She said he has a good paying job, but when they offer to get off early, he leaves. And I argued with him a lot about leaving work early because financially he shouldn't be leaving early because he should be getting as many hours as he can. He doesn't do overtime. His job offers overtime to get more hours and extra pay, but he never takes advantage of it. And then he stayed up until 4 a.m. playing games when he should be staying up at 4 a.m. at work, getting more hours to pay his bills. He doesn't take advantage of more money when he's offered it. That was the letter. She gave him $300 to pay his rent in April. He was supposed to pay it back in May. He gave her $60. Now it's June, and he still ain't seeing her money. So what I'm going to say is you in the 21 to 66 age group, he's 35, and he's living like that, cut him loose. That's what that means. And honestly, you guys, I didn't touch anything, so I don't know what happened with the sound. It just muted itself. I didn't touch nothing, so I don't know what that was all about. But yeah, he'd rather play games and live like he's a teenager, like mommy's gonna be taking care of him, than being an adult man getting his money on. And you looking at you to fill in the gap in his sister and all this other stuff, all these other women giving him money. I'm gonna give his ass shit. And tell him you want your money back, and then after you get it, break up with him. That's what you need to do. But even if you don't get it back, you know what? Just break up with him anyway, because now that he feels like he can get money from you, so he 160 out of $300. That's a little bit more than half. So it costs you $140 to learn a valuable lesson. That's not too bad. Cut him loose and just chalk that $140 up to experience and move on. And in the future, if you have a guy who's fiscally irresponsible, you have a guy who comes to you for money because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. I could see if he had, like, he was in an accident, he was hospitalized and he couldn't work, and he had a broken leg and he was on crutches and his arm was half, in a sling, and his shoulder was dislocated, and he's had a half concussion, and, all this other stuff was going on. Well, then, yeah, I could see, helping somebody out financially in a situation like that because there's nothing they can do for themselves right then. That's when you help people. But in a situation where he's able bodied, fully healthy, has a job that pays well, he's just choosing not to work. No, motherfucker, if you get evicted, oh well. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to be plugging that thing in wherever you plug it. Yeah. Well, it was muted, Travel One, because I looked and I saw the mic had gotten muted somehow. I'm reading the letter. I didn't touch it, so I don't know what happened. Seriously, I didn't do anything. So, and anyway, you got to pay for something. He's playing them till 4 o'clock, and it can't be that good anyway because he's too tired. You don't have no energy. Question number 6, female, 21 to 26, Jacksonville, Florida. My ex's birthday is coming up soon, and I thought it might be a good idea to send a nice closure message and forever finish the chapter. Things ended abruptly and nasty. There were lots of miscommunication at the end. I didn't understand he had struggles. Neither did he understand mine. I wouldn't blame or shame anyone in the letter or beg him for forgiveness or to come back. People write letters to feel better and let go of any bitterness or anger that was left. I hate having any residue of it. That's why I thought writing a letter is a nice way to show a fellow human being that life is okay and things happen. There are no harsh feelings against this person anymore. They might reply with a simple thank you, and that's all I would need. I do that out of respect to people that always made me feel better and made my life easier, so I don't know. I've wrote closure letters before, and it always ends up being the best thing in my life. I felt like I finally could forgive myself and a person completely. There was no resentment left, nothing. After that, I never thought about this person again. My perception of letting go completely is forgiveness and peace, but everyone is different. I don't want anything. I just want people to be a part of my history where I can learn, but it doesn't have to be just negative no matter how things ended. People don't get upset when you send them closure. I think they feel relieved at least a little bit. There's no love left anymore. He moved on already, but there's still part in my heart that feels disturbed and restless. Do you think writing a short letter would be a good idea to leave a person on good terms and memories? Girl, let me tell you what you would do, what you would get if that was me. And I'm sure 99.9% of men feel exactly the same way. Fuck you, fuck your letter, fuck your feelings, fuck your closure. He ain't trying to hear from you. You tripping. And you all this whole letter's filled with what you feel, what you think, what you like, what is good for you. Then write the letter and then put it in the trash can. Cause you want to write some shit, write it. Nobody can tell you not to write it. But don't you dare send him that bullshit. That motherfucker's not interested in what you got to say. Ain't nobody gives a fuck about you. He's moved on. And you sit up there thinking about him. Oh, we should have closure. It'll make me feel better and then I can move on this and that. He don't give a fuck if you move on or not. He's done. Okay? He's moved on. That's all that counts in his world. What he's doing. So you sit up there, man, you let somebody write me a letter like that. I'ma hurt every feeling you ever had. I will write you back and tell you, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your letter. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't give a fuck about nothing. All the time I spent with you was a waste of my life. I rue every day that I spent looking at your tired, raggedy ass. And you had the nerve to send me a letter thinking I give a fuck about closure with you? Bitch, the door was closed and that was the closure I needed once I left your trifling piece of shit ass. Okay, that's what you would get from me. Your feelings will be hurt till now, till kingdom come. And you gonna try to send it to him on his birthday like it's a fucking gift? And try to disturb that man on his birthday where he's partying with his new woman and his friends and having a good time? You want to just interject yourself in there like what you think and what you want is so fucking important? You really on one. You are really on one. Don't you dare send that shit. I'm glad you wrote me so I can give you guys a reality check. Because I'm telling you, every man on this planet would say exactly what I said to you if he had the nerve. That just because he wouldn't say it, he sure would be thinking it. Ain't nobody trying to hear from you. I don't know if she's crying or not, but she need to be. She would be crying. I'm telling you. If some motherfucker call me talking to, or send me a note or email or anything, carry a pigeon, I don't give a fuck what you send. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I'm done with you. Forget you're dead to me. Okay, I don't want nothing to do with you. No parts of you. Who? Yeah, she has to. That's what she said. I still feel, what does she call it? There's still part in my heart that feels disturbed and restless. There's no parts in his heart that feel like that, and the part that is the part that would care about you feeling disturbed and restless is dead. Okay, nobody cares. Get over it. You want to tell somebody and do some closure, go see a shrink. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Some people just really be having an overinflated opinion of themselves, thinking somebody gives a fuck. Man, she would get cussed out so hard. I can't even imagine how long and hard, how many bitches she would be if she sent me some shit like that. Yeah, them harlequin romance shit, right? And my heart is disturbed and restless. Well, I'm gonna make everything on you disturbed because I'm ready to cuss your bitch ass out. Yeah. Question number 7. Woo! Female, 30 to 36 out of Texas. Dear Deb, I'm in a confusing situation and I need your help. I usually know what to do in dating situations. I'm rarely at a loss for words, but the man I've been dating for 5 months just told me that he is marrying his cousin in order to bring her to. I'm sorry, motherfuckers be having so much game. It's so unbelievable. Where's everybody with the cussing fund? Where's the cussing fund donations? Ah, you know, y'all. Yeah, she is a sorry heifer lady boss. I just can't believe her. Okay, the man I've been dating for 5 months, he's marrying his cousin. I ought to bring her to the States for citizenship. He is African. I done told y'all about fucking with them people with the accent. You don't listen. He got to the U.S. via the lottery system and tells me he's the only person in his family who is here and able to help her. He says his quote cousin is in severe poverty and his family members have been begging him for years to help her. After talking to him and questioning further, he told me that they're already married in his country and that they have been married for almost a year. He also told me that the whole process will take 2 years, so one more year and then he'll be done with this process. He and I, before this, were talking about being in a long term relationship and possibly married one day. Now I'm confused on whether it would be reasonable to continue seeing him, knowing what I now know. For all I know, he could be romantically married and he's just lying, saying this is his cousin. To test him, I asked him if I could meet her when she gets here. He didn't hesitate to say sure, and that he wants to take me to Africa to meet his whole family. He's already told his mom about me. Deb, I don't know. I do love him, and I know he loves me. His actions show it. He is nothing but to me but kind, sweet, gentle, and helpful. He's very educated, 2 master's degree, hardworking, has a lot going for himself as he is now in the process of buying a rental property. He has a bright future, but I'm not sure if I can deal with this situation. Please help. What you want me to do? What you want me to do? The man is married. Okay, he's already married. Did you miss that part? He's married in Africa. That means he has a wife. That means you fucking around with a married man. That means that any dreams that you had of getting married and being long term and all that stuff, you would be the other bitch. Did you understand what you just wrote here? There's nothing here for you. Okay, he gamed on you and you sitting up here writing me this letter asking like you don't understand what's going on. He's married. And you can't say you didn't know because he told you. And talking about he told his mother about you. You don't know that that's his mama. Don't you know when people are running a scam, they have all kind of people lined up to pretend to be different roles in their life. And you just gonna believe it? Especially from some dusty bum from the continent? I don't believe shit they say. Unless I saw him slide out of his mama's pussy, I don't believe shit that that's this his mother. I don't believe that. I know too many niggas that run game on women like that. Have all kind of people in their crook circle. They the mama this week, the cousin, the auntie that week, the big sister next week, and every different scam they run in, everybody plays a different role. They're all in it together. So you need to just quit this. Stop messing with this fool. Cut him loose. Tell him you don't mess with married men. Thanks for telling me. I'm out. Deuces. Yeah, he's trash. She just, she is tripping hard. I just don't know if I should believe it. I'm in a confusing situation. There's nothing confusing about this. He gamed on you for 5 months and then he finally told you the truth. Now it's time for you to let him go. Okay, he's married. There's nothing you can do here. And he gonna be coming bringing the next one. What you gonna be in the little group marriage now? Y'all gonna be living together in his rental property? And he gonna be married to her and got to be, married in spirit to you. Is that what you're trying to do? One of these polygamy, these Muslim, what these little groups called? Them little Sunny Muslim people where they have all these different wives. Is that what you're trying to do? You in the U.S. A man can only have one wife. Remember that. You ain't it. So cut this loose. Stop this. You're being silly now. To be 30 to, well, how old are you? 30 to 36. Now, you should know better than this. Question number 8, male, 30 to 36 out the UK. My stepdaughter is pregnant. Ooh. I love her like she is my own. I've been with my wife for 10 years. My wife is 44. I'm 35. My wife and I never had children together despite trying over 8 years, but we've given up. My stepdaughter and my wife have never gotten along. My wife can be a bit overbearing sometimes, but she just wants the best for her daughter. The girl, let's call her Annie, has always come to me for advice, and her biological father was never involved. I noticed that she'd been wearing baggier clothes, but I never thought too much of it. A while ago, she told me that she's pregnant. She's about 17 weeks along now. She begged me not to tell her mother, as she knows she won't approve. She told me that the dad doesn't want to be involved, but she doesn't want to terminate. I've always thought she had a bright future, so if it were up to me, I'd pay rent for her so she can continue going to school, help with childcare, and help her get a job. But I know her mother's reaction would be that she made her bed, and if you're old enough to get pregnant, you're old enough to be on your own. She will not be interested in helping her at all. I really don't know what to do here. I'm in a tough spot. My daughter doesn't really have any woman figures in her life and to look up to in life. What do I do? I've been doing my best, cooking, making well-rounded meals, and I've even bought some baby clothes, unisex, mostly in yellow, as that's Annie's favorite color. Well, it sounds like you ready to be somebody's grandpa. You like all in. I'll help you with it. I'll pay rent for you. I'll do this. I'll do that. She's only 17 though. I don't know if that's a minor in the UK, but here that is. You don't say when she'll turn 18. But this is difficult. The main thing is, you say the dad doesn't want to be involved. What you need to do is advocate that whether the motherfucker wants to be involved or not, he's going to be kicking down some fucking money. So you, sir, have the wherewithal to go and get an attorney, get her to give you the dude's name and address. And if she has any information, like I always knew all my boyfriend's social security numbers, I still remember them. I can rattle them off in my head right now. Because I likes to know stuff like that. Because in case any funny shit go down, I'm going to find your ass. You're not going to work nowhere until I get my money. That's my motto. So that's how I do things. And I have a good memory for stuff like that. Now, I can't remember what time I'm supposed to leave someplace to be on the show at 6. But I can remember social security numbers from 20 years ago. It's very amazing. But I tell you, in a situation like this, sir, you and the daughter are going to have to sit down and tell your wife. What you want to do, though, is you and her sit down first and map out a plan, what you're going to do. So when you sit down and tell the mama, you can tell her what the plan is. Because that's part of the worry that she's going to have is, well, what are we going to do? Well, you show her that you've already thought all that through. You have everything set up. She's not gonna be able to live there at the house with you, so you're gonna have to find a place for her to live because your wife is gonna go batshit crazy. So you're gonna have to help her with the situation that you mentioned. Um, if you got it like that, do that. If not, there's a place where you could remodel in the house where she can be there. That would be less expensive. You can still help with daycare bills though, because that's gonna cost. But your wife might not be in the mood to hear a screaming baby. On the other hand, you just don't know. She might break down in tears and, to have a struggle getting used to it, but then be okay with it once the baby's born and, love it just as much as you do. You just never know how these things are going to go. But I do suggest that the two of you map out a plan, have everything lined up, know how much it's going to cost, when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, all of that. So that when you talk to your wife, and that should happen within the next couple of weeks, like 2 weeks, then you can let her know what the plan is. Yeah. Well, she didn't say anything about adoption. She doesn't want to terminate. Well, he's buying baby clothes and stuff. So see, to me, that means there's some discussion then of her, trying to keep it, at least at this point. Right? Because otherwise he wouldn't be talking about daycare and childcare and rent and all that stuff, right? So she has to have talked to him about, she's planning to keep it. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like adoption's an option here. I think that would be the best too, but especially if they're white. The baby could be adopted like tomorrow. You know. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I would suggest that you do, sir. You don't have to tell your wife, but you all need to do it together. Question number 9, female 226 out of Los Angeles. My friend has been mourning a failed, quote, relationship for over a year, and I'm at my wit's end trying to deal with her. My friend, quote, dated this guy. Okay, she put relationships in quote and dated in quotes for 2 something years. Wow, that's a long time. She's 23 now, and he's about 28. I'm saying quote dated because if it wasn't really a relationship. He told her right away he wanted nothing serious. He slept with her and he was sleeping with a whole bunch of other girls too, and she knew about them. They never actually talked or went on real dates. He only called her for sex in the middle of the night, never wished her happy birthday, didn't bother to get to know her. The dude basically gave zero fucks about her. Wow. This is a pump and dump situation. They also never used protection. She was very lucky she didn't catch an STD, but she did get pregnant and had a miscarriage at the beginning of their relationship. He gave no fucks about that either and continued to sleep with her without protection. Somehow she managed to fall in love with him. He broke up with her over a year ago by text and she went crazy, crying, screaming, breaking stuff. Just crazy. She kept harassing him for over 6 months to talk to her in person, but he wouldn't do it. Eventually, he lied saying he had a girlfriend and told her to leave him alone or else he'd block her everywhere. She finally stopped trying to talk to him, but she never stopped talking about him. Every single day, she talks about him, gets on my nerves, how she's going to love him forever, how he ran away because he was getting attached, how she'd never find anyone like him ever again, how he was the one. I'm basically one of the few female friends she's had. I've known her for almost 10 years. Hmm. And she says it's super fucked up that she believes that if she didn't lose the baby, that he would have changed and married her and that they'd be happy. Wow. Deb, I hold nothing back. I told her time and time again that it was a good thing that she lost the baby. I told her that she absolutely meant nothing to him, that she was just one of many girls, that he never loved her, that she's idealizing everything. But she gets mad and tells me that she can see how I would think so, but it wasn't there, and I didn't see how different he was with her. I tried being nice and supportive. I've tried tough love. I tried everything. I begged her to go to therapy. She won't, saying she doesn't believe in it. I tried to urge her to see someone new, everything I could think of. She always picks these kind of guys and says that she can't choose who she falls in love with. I feel awful for saying this, but sometimes I just want to tell her to fuck off with her bullshit, to get a therapist, and stop feeding herself these delusions. I know it would just bum her out even more, so I don't. I just deal with it, but it's getting to me, and I constantly find myself pissed off, angry, and annoyed. I don't even feel sorry about her anymore. What should I do? You should tell her exactly what you said you want to tell her. You up there worried about her feelings. She ain't worried about yours. See, I don't understand this. Well, I knew I shouldn't tell her because it would bum her out even more. Who gives a fuck? She's at the bottom. Okay, the girl done lost her mind. She's crazy about somebody that don't want her. He was never her man. He was just a boot. She was a booty call, if that. He didn't even try to, at least sometimes they try to get to know something about you. Y'all have some conversations. You go get a burger, something, a sandwich at Subway, something. He didn't do none of that, sounds like. He just like, what you doing? I'll be over. Tap that ass, be out. She let him do it, though. She let him treat her like that. So he doesn't have any respect for her. She has none for herself. The friend is in the 21 to 26 age group. So you figure her friend's probably in the same age group. Because she said, wait, did she say how old the friend was? Yeah, she's 23 now, and the dude's around 28. She says around. She probably doesn't really know. But, he's older than they are. So, yeah, I would figure she and the friend are about the same age, about 22, 23, 24, something like that. Were this my friend, I would listen for, like the time. I probably wouldn't have listened as long as you do because I have very short patience and I'd be quick to tell somebody that they're being stupid. And so, after a time or two of this, I would have lost my patience and just started cussing her out and telling her how she was a dumb bitch and stuff like that. That's probably why I don't have any friends like that. I just can't do it. But you know, she's like volunteering. She volunteered herself to be used by this guy for 2 years. And now she's crying about it, wasting even more years of her life, whining about somebody who never gave a shit about her. So I would have no patience for this. I'm going to just tell you about it and you decide what you want to do. But the main thing you're not going to do is bother my nerves with this. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. You go tell a shrink, somebody they cared. That ain't me. And every time she called and she wanted to talk about that dude, I would hang up. The second that she started mentioning his name, I would go click. I told you I don't want to talk about him. And I would reinforce that with behavior. As if, then she would either stop calling talking about that or she would just stop calling altogether. But you know what? Either way, that's a good day in my book. So yeah, I don't have time for that. It's one thing you have friends that want to be stupid, but and you can watch them be stupid, you know what I mean? But as long as they be stupid over there some damn where, that's not my problem. But once you start bringing the problem to me and looking for me, you want to bend my ear and wear me out with that shit, telling me the same shit over and over, and dude done left you by text and never gave a shit about you in the first place. I mean, what do you want from me? Yeah, but that's why I said she wouldn't have to stop it. But one thing she would not be doing is wearing me out with it. Now, see, that's two different things. You don't have to stop, but what you do have to do is stop bothering my nerves. Okay, you could go bother somebody else. You could go to the park and tell the homeless people. You could walk down the street and tell the pigeons. I don't care who you tell, but it ain't gonna be me. See, because I'm done. We're done here with that. Yeah. Yeah, I just can't do that. So let's move on. Anyway, that's my suggestion. You just gonna have to stop trying to hold back and stop being so nice and start reinforcing your words with action. Hang up. Disconnect. When you see it's her on the caller ID, swipe and do the thing. Decline call. Don't take her calls. Stop taking them. Question number 10, male 20 to 20, 21 to 26 in the UK. My question is about my brother and whether or not I should continue to support him. My big brother wants to make a career in acting. He wants to become rich and famous, but he started pretty late, and my father doesn't support him. He's 28 and has no job. What? He's 28? Why should your father support him at 28? I am well paid, so I started supporting him. Right now, my brother's aim is to become TikTok famous. Ooh, I have been supporting him for over 2 years. But soon I'm going to move to the U.S. I'm planning to settle there. Now, my brother says once I settle in the U.S., I should support him financially so that he can also settle in the U.S. I mean, what about your plans of making a career in acting or becoming TikTok famous? Okay, let me just finish this. I have a bad feeling that my brother is just addicted to easy money. I really don't think he has any plans of getting a job or making a career. Since childhood, he was supported by my father. Now that my father has stopped supporting him, he found me. My brother does not have enough qualifications to do any nice paying job in the U.S., so I'll have to pay for everything. I have supported him up until now because I felt like he also has some dreams. But if my father's not supported, then maybe I should. But when this U.S. thing came out, I have kind of started doubting his intentions. Am I spoiling my brother? Also, I really worked hard to move to U.S. I deserve a good life. If I were to support him, then that will not be possible. Am I selfish? No. Your brother's the one that's selfish. Your brother's using everybody, and y'all are guilt tripping you, thinking you're supposed to take care of a grown ass man who's almost 30 years old. What makes you think that that's your job to take care of your older brother? Are you out of your mind? Look at what you're doing for yourself, and he's not doing shit for himself. That's why your dad threw up his hands. He's like, I'm not doing shit for this motherfucker. And then here you come, well, I'll do it, brother. You've done it for 2 years, that's enough. So you tell your brother, dude, you got 6 months to get your shit together. You need to get a job and start making some money. Because once I leave for the United States, I'm out, and I'm not sending you a dime. So that he'll be on notice. And any valuables you have, make sure that they're locked away somewhere where he can't get them. Any access that he might have to your bank account, cut it off. If he has the ability to have like your PIN number for your ATM or anything like that, get a new ATM card and change your PIN number to one that he will never guess. Stuff like that, because otherwise your brother's going to continue to rob you and make your life miserable because he's a bum. Hate to tell you, but she's a bum. I don't know. I don't understand these people. I wouldn't be to support a grown man. I wish I would. Young man, you have to start thinking, okay, you're younger than your brother. You say your big brother. Okay, that means you're younger than him. You want to move to the United States. You've worked hard to make the money to do that. Okay, you have a career path that you can take with you to the United States. You want to get a wife. You want to have children. You want to have a home. Things that cost money. Okay, you can't do that and take care of your dusty ass brother at the same time. He needs to take care of himself. That's what grown men do. Okay, you treating him like a child. You treating him like, you're his daddy or something. Stop this. Stop it. Tell him he's got, I don't know, shit, I'd give him 3 months. He got 3 months, and then after that, you cutting off his support. He needs to have a job to make it happen. You got to give him notice, though. You can't just say no. I mean, you got to give somebody a chance. But 3 months, and then make sure you don't give him nothing because he's gonna come at you with a sob story. Oh, I couldn't find anything. He's gonna test you to see, and you're gonna have to say, well, I told you you had 3 months. I'm not giving you shit. I don't know what to tell you. You better go to the welfare office and make the magic happen. That's what you need to make sure to tell him. He could go do some day work. Pick up cans. That's what they do here. I don't know, but he better do something. Question 11. This is a female 30 to 36 from Philly. Why do cheaters act sad when they get busted? I found out my boyfriend of several years was in another relationship while we were living together. I approached him about it, and he became sad, especially when I told him to move out. When I told him to go stay with his side chick, he said he can't. Ha! He moped around for the time he was here until his last day. If his side girl was enough to lie and cheat on me with, he should have been thrilled to spend more time with her, right? Why is he sad? He was not sad because of anything. Then he was sad because he got busted. You don't understand. He was sad because his game was so weak that he got found out. That's why he was sad. So you looking at this wrong. He's not sad about anything to do with the cheating. He's sad because he got caught. That's why he's sad. Okay? But you did the right thing to throw him out on his ass, and so there you go. That's it. Oh, go stay with his side chick, and he said he can't. Well, sucks for you. I don't know where you're going to be living, in the park. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't give a shit either. I don't care where you go, but you getting the fuck up out of here. Question number 12, female 37 to 45 in Ohio. I purchased my current house in 2001. The house has one big bedroom and two smaller bedrooms. When we first moved in, I let my son have the master bedroom. I didn't need it. It made him very happy to have the big room all to himself. It used to be only me and my son until 2017 when I met my current boyfriend. He's wonderful, and my son really likes him too. He also has full custody of his daughters aged 14, 12, and 8. We all get along great. How old is this son? You're 37 to 45. After 2 years of seeing each other, we finally decided it was time to move in together. The only problem here is that my son refused to move into the small room and let the girls have the big room. I understand that it's his room, but I really want the girls to feel comfortable here. How can I make my son understand that 3 girls can't comfortably live in a small room? They each have their own beds, their own wardrobes, makeup, cupboards, mirrors, etc. It's impossible to fit all their belongings into the small room. My son, however, only has a bed, a TV, and a wardrobe. My son can easily fit everything he owns into the small room. I'm not going to force him to move, but I wish I could get him to understand. I really love those girls, and I want them to feel comfortable in their new home, but I know that they will figuratively suffocate in that small room. And yes, my son is 25. Okay, there we go. And still lives with me. I don't have the guts to force him or threaten to kick him out. Even if I try, he'll call my bluff easily. I just need him to understand and sympathize with the girls. So what do you mean call your bluff? Like as in he'll leave? That's good. That's what you want. Because that 14-year-old should have the small room and the 2 little younger girls should share the other room. That's what should happen. Teenagers need their own space. Your son is a grown-ass man. He should not be living there with his mama. So if this were my son, this is what I would tell him. I'll say, okay, you have 2 choices. Either you can get the fuck out because you're 25 and that's what needs to happen anyway, or you're going to switch rooms. Which one do you want to do? Because either way, they're gonna have that big room. That's it. There's no conversation about it. That's what's gonna happen. So you just decide if you want to still be here, you're gonna be in the small room. If you don't want to be here, then the teenager's gonna get that room, and the other 2 is gonna be in the other big room, and that's how we're gonna do things here. So what you want? And that's how it would be. He wouldn't get a choice. He ain't paying no bills. He ain't doing shit. He's living there like a child, and you let him run the house? That's your house. You don't let some dusty-ass kid tell you what to do in your house. You tell them, lady, what's wrong with you? You are just a wuss. Don't let yourself, I don't have the heart the guts to force him or threaten to kick him out. That's not how you do. You give him a choice. These are the 2 options. Pick one. Those are the only options. There's no option on the table. You stay in the big room and try to put three little girls in that little room. That's not an option at all. The other options, you get to stay here, and the other one you don't. Those are your two choices. So you got a problem with that. You can go join the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, or whatever you want to do. You can get the fuck up out of here. That's what you should do. Well, probably because wherever he is renting. After people get a divorce, their finances are adversely affected. And that might happen, lady equipped. But they have to see how it's gonna work out first. You don't just like jump off into getting into $500,000 worth of debt when you just decide you just gonna live with somebody and see how your kids work out with them and all that kind of stuff. That's not the way that you do things. You do it step by step. So if things work out well with them living there together, well then I'm sure that would be the next step. But at 14, she only gonna be around another couple of years, and she's gonna be heading off to college, so she won't be there anyway. So, does that really make sense for two people that old to be, buying some bigger house that they're going to have to downsize in 4 or 5 years anyway? There's a lot to look at here. And I don't really think that would be a smart decision. I think, like I just said, Sim Girl 1, I just explained all of that. So I'm not going to do it again. That makes the most sense for now. When they move to something bigger, if everything works out, then she can rent out her house. That would be how that would work. Question number 13. Female, 21 to 26 in North Dakota. Oh, and there's a note here that says this letter was sent in March and got lost in the spam folder. Oh, oh my God. I wonder if it's even still. Okay, well, let's see. Deb, can you make a video about haters at the workplace, specifically what to do about when you enter a new workplace with people, in my case, it's all women, who have been there for 10 or 20 years and how to deal with their passive aggressive antics, subtle jealousy, and hate? I am 2 months new, and I notice that I'm the only one who really takes care of themselves in regard to personal hygiene, diet, and exercise. All of them have let themselves go and talk primarily about their drunken activities over the weekend or wishing they'd had a drink right there in the office. Wow. Meanwhile, I have quit drinking. I'm young, my ass is still tight, and I go the extra mile to keep focused on my well-being and goals. My boss is the only other one who even comes close to my level when it comes to taking care of self. I can tell there is tension in the office because of this fact alone, considering I'm being singled out, and the other new girl who started the same day as me is not. She's not attractive. I choose to keep to myself and keep my mouth closed, as you always advise in your videos. I don't talk a lot, and I think this bothers them as well. My boss took me in her office today, go figure it's a full moon, to passive aggressively reprimand me about some trivial shit that only a narc snitch would know or even care about. She was also gone on a trip all of last week and had no problems with me before that, so obviously someone else in the office has been washing out in hopes of catching me slipping. What to do about people who feel threatened by you at the workplace and shut it down before it escalates into a full-blown, passive-aggressive, resentful woman stew of pettiness? Well, that's happened on every job I've had, unfortunately. Every single one. Um, I developed a strategy, though. Let me tell you this. I tell people, you don't be telling your business at work. You create stories. In other words, you lie, because it's a very delicate balancing act. So you're talking, but what you're saying doesn't necessarily have to be true. Okay? But you're doing it because there's a certain culture in every company, every office. And in order to do your job well, to get opportunities that you need to get, and to be well regarded by your superiors, you have to be able to fit in. And the way to do that is to say little things. Some of it might be real, but it's little stuff that's not, like, okay, I have a dog named, you know, Cujo. Yeah, I took my dog for a walk and we saw this and that, blah, blah, blah. And my dog this and my dog that. My dog is so crazy. He's like barking. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Or I have a cat. My cat's name is Ralph. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I went to go visit my parents. Now, do you have to say where you went? What your parents' name is? Anything about your parents, their business. Like, where they live, how much money they make, what they own, they go, their vacation trips and stuff. You don't say any of that. That's none of them bitches' business. They're going to ask, though, but you just say, oh, my mother really, they keep that business to themselves. Shoot, I don't even know the answer to those things, and they my parents. So you get out of that. But the main thing is, so it becomes, this is something I learned, it's a very delicate balancing act. You don't want to tell them, too much information, definitely not the real stuff, but you want to seem like you're telling them something. So I suggest that you lie. And I know people say, you shouldn't lie. That's the first thing I came up with, Ralph. People say, well, you shouldn't lie, this and that. And you shouldn't have to do that. And I should just be able to be myself, this and that. And you could do that. You could do that. But is that going to get you what you want? See, my thing, I'm a bottom line person. If you're going into the company and they got positions that you could advance to, and you could be up out of that little petty circle because you got a promotion, well, why would you set yourself up so that they kept you from having that happen? You want them to root for you. So you're going to seem like you fit in. And you're going to do that by coming up with some creative stories that's lies. Okay, to make it seem like you just one of them. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Now, I detect a note here, a note of this, slight arrogance about your appearance and all that stuff. You don't nobody give a shit about all of that at the job. I mean, that's nice that you keep yourself in shape and all that stuff. But I mean, that's nothing to have an attitude about. You're doing that for yourself. And whether other people do or not is not your concern. You don't compare yourself to other people. So if you're coming across, if any of this that you projected in this letter is being transmuted in your attitude, the way that you look at these people, the way that you talk to these people, well, I could see why they would be irritated with your ass and be giving you a lot of hate. That's not how you conduct yourself. Okay, there's always going to be people who are fatter, uglier, older, more wrinkled, whatever, more fucked up than you are in any environment. But the key to being successful in life is to present yourself in a way so that everybody likes you. Everybody. So you think about how to do that. I don't know. Shit, I just came up with a name. What you want me to name him? Malik? I mean, what name you cat what you want to. But I'm just saying, this is something that you have to think about. You're very young. And as you go through life, you will see the truth of what I'm saying. The people who fit in are the people who get opportunities. The people who people feel is one of them, who's down and all the stuff, are the people that they recommend for special assignments and stuff like that. They get opportunities that aren't given to other people. Those opportunities create ladders for you to climb. So if you want that, you're going to have to change some of your mentality here about how you deal with people. Can't do that. Can't project this kind of attitude at the job. Yeah, that's a no-go. All right. Let's move on. Question 14. We got 24 questions today. This is taking a while. Female 30 to 36 from Tacoma, Washington. This happened a few days before my husband's birthday on March and has been gnawing on me since then. One of his friends rented a party bus for his birthday. It's important to note that I'm not originally from this country, so I don't have any friends here, and we just go out with his. But I didn't know almost any of them except a couple and my brother-in-law, so understandably I sat next to them. I'm also very shy. Well, at some point, the bus took us to a liquor store. They could all buy their poison of preference. And since my heels were killing me, I stayed on the bus. It emptied out. Then this guy from the couple that I knew got on, and even though the bus was completely empty, he sat right next to me, leg against leg. It weirded me out, but I didn't give it much importance. He didn't say anything, but then a guy started talking to him from the entrance to the bus, and here's where it bothered me. I had my legs crossed the entire time, and when the guy started calling on him, this dude suddenly put his hand a bit above my knee. What, he touched you? I immediately stared at him, but he didn't seem to acknowledge me and just kept talking. I would have let it slide as him being distracted, I guess. But then he leaned a bit forward to tell something to the other guy, and he slid his hand all the way down my leg and left it resting just a little bit above my ankle. I was shocked, and honestly, I feel stupid for not saying anything, but I felt so awkward that I didn't know how to respond. I usually avoid confrontation, so I guess that's why I just stared dumbfounded. He stayed like that and didn't move until people started to get on, then he quietly sat on the opposite seat to mine. I've been wanting to tell my husband, but I have rejected going out with him again, but I haven't explained why. So he thinks I'm a snob that dislikes his friends, but what if I'm overreacting? I don't want him to lose a friend because of me. I'm going to read your ass. This is stupid. In case it helps you answer better, you should know that I experienced sexual abuse throughout my life, including during different years with different people. I never knew it was wrong, so I never told my parents that I should obey grown-ups. One specific case at 7, the driver from the school van used to send to pick up kids from their homes used to sit me next to him and touch and rub my legs and under every day. Like I said, I didn't know it was wrong. All I knew was that I didn't like it, and that feeling can never be forgotten. That is the same feeling I had when his friend touched me, and at that moment, the world stopped. I was 7 years old again. If any of that makes sense. So am I ever actually? Absolutely fucking not. And you were supposed to tell? Okay, let me explain this to you. No matter what happened to you at 7 when you didn't know, your ass is whatever age you are now, and you know. Okay, so what was that? Okay, if you can't stand up for yourself, this was a test. So it's good that you don't want to be around him. You should avoid, if he ever tries to come to your house and your husband's not there, even if your husband is there, and it's just the two of you there with him, you go into some other room and lock the door and stay far away from this dude. But the main thing you need to do is tell your husband what happened. I'm assuming he knows about your, abuse history and childhood so that he can connect the dots and see how traumatized you are and how when you're in a situation like that, you don't know what to do. But I'm ready to tell you because this shithead right here has got to stop. When he sat next to you, you were supposed to say, get up, don't sit next to me, go sit in one of these other seats over here. Okay, then by the time he put his hands on you, you were supposed to take your hands and push him off the seat onto the floor. There's no reason in this world why you should sit there and let him rub all over your legs like that. That was a test. He's seeing what defenses you are and how terrified you are and what he could do with you and get away with it. And you just sat there. You can't do this. I know you've been traumatized. I understand. But I'm telling you, that's when you were a kid and you were a little baby. You didn't know what to do and you're pretty defenseless against an adult. You're an adult yourself now. If you don't protect yourself, who the hell you think is going to do it? You better find your voice and start checking these people. Tell your husband what happened. That's the first step. Tell him what happened and how that's why you haven't been wanting to go around this guy. Okay, you need to do that. And I'm telling you, anytime somebody takes any kind of steps to do anything to you that crosses your boundaries, you punch them, you kick them, you scream, you talk shit to them, you do whatever you need to do. You need to practice. And I want you to sign up go on the community wall and submit your name on the webinar I'm trying to do in August. Whether I get to do it in early August or late August, I'm trying to do it in August. But you need to be there because you need to learn how to speak up for yourself and how to establish and maintain boundaries. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. But you cannot go through life like this. And what you going to do if you have some kids and some shit like what happened to you happens to them? You just going to sit there and be all quiet and just, I don't know what to say. I'm just dumbfounded. You better, lady, the time for that shit is over. Okay? Like I said, I totally sympathize with what happened to you in childhood. You were 7. You were a little baby. You don't know what to do against a grown-ass man. That's not your fault. I'm not saying any of this is your fault. But what I'm saying is that you're an adult now. Okay? Your approach to dealing with other adults has to be different. You're not a little child. Okay? You're an equal to them. You better G up. This is just, it's very sad. I'm going to touch an eye. Would have punched that motherfucker so hard. It's like, get the fuck up. You be touching, I would have loud talked him. So he would have been so embarrassed. It's like, get your fat ass up. You don't need to sit next to me. All these goddamn seats here. Get up. Because he's on some funny business just doing that. You know what I mean? There's some bullshit about to go down. And then he's going to put his hand on your knee. That was the first test. And then she didn't say anything to that. So he just took all kind of liberties. You lucky he slid it down instead of up because that's what he really wanted to do. That's what he really wanted. That was the test. Yeah, that she should have told the husband right there as soon as he got back on the bus what happened. I would have turned that party bus out, you know. Had them make the husband kick them out, him and his wife off the bus. It's like, no, you get off. Get off. Before I punch you or kill you or shoot you or something. And you're not overreacting, you're underreacting. Question number 15, female 21 to 26 out the UK. Long story short, I met a guy online and went on a good date, regularly in contact since. I initiated the date because I suggested we spend time outdoors. He agreed. I suggested a nice hiking area. He agreed. I recommended Skyping. He agreed. Even I liked his profile first and he agreed. Now I'm making plenty of hints that I have never been here or there and it would be nice to go here or there. And he agrees. I jokingly messaged him and said, "Can you guess where I'm going with this?" He laughed it off and agreed. Now that I think about it, he never initiates anything except sexual advances. He went for a kiss on our first and only date. I'm confused if he expects me to chase him or if he genuinely doesn't get the hints. Or if he doesn't care and just wants booty, since he has no problems initiating there. Either way, it's making me lose interest. What should I do next? Next him. Who wants somebody like that? You got to do all the work. I told you about the date I went on with the dude. He was just like everything I asked him, um, he would just say, "Well, now same question back to you." So nothing was coming from him. He wasn't initiating anything in the conversation. That was the worst date I've ever had in my life. And I was like, I like went off on him and told him, no, we're not doing this. It's like, I'm not going to be the one to come up with all the topics for discussion and shit to ask you questions. And all you do is pair it back. Well, same question back to you. That's exactly the kind of stuff you have here where they be waiting for you to do all the work and they just agree to it. No. Well, she must like the dude. She likes the dude. So she's coming up with all these ways to spend time with him and be around him, but he's not making any effort to do the same. That means he's just looking at this as a sexual opportunity. That's all it is. He gonna let you keep throwing yourself at him so he could tap that ass. That's where this is going. Okay, so you need to understand what time it is and stop it. Stop calling him. Stop suggesting anything for him to agree to. Yeah, it's so boring. Oh, now, same question back to you. Now, same question back to you. Yeah, it was worse than talking to a wall. Ooh, some of these men, man, they have just no social skills whatsoever. Question number 16, female, 21 to 26 from Erie, Pennsylvania. A very confusing and stupid story, but I feel hurt. I started dating a guy before the lockdown. When it happened, we stayed apart. He wanted to spend time together, but I was with my family and I couldn't leave. We stayed in touch the whole time and saw each other as soon as it was over. It was/is mainly a casual relationship, but I felt like things were growing. But I saw him last night. He seemed a bit off. I didn't probe him, but he came out and told me that he's been seeing another girl during the lockdown. He said he's known her for years and they always have casual eggplant. And he said after the lockdown, he feels things have changed between them and she isn't seeing anyone else now. He said he feels very bad seeing me now. He said he is confused because he is at that situation, but he also really likes me and he doesn't know what to do. He said he has to decide. Naturally, I'm not happy about this and I feel really used and confused. I said to him, it's been fun and I like him too, and I'm looking for a serious relationship and more. He seemed happy with that and said he's interested, but he needs to sort his current situation out. I said I won't see him until he knows. I 100% plan to move on as soon as possible, but just want to know what you think about this. If he turns around and says he wants to give it a go with me, should I? I feel like the answer is obviously no, but I'm not sure. He's confused me with his nice words, etc. I just need an outside perspective. Because just because somebody's nice to you does not mean that they love you. It just means he's a motherfucker with some good home training. Men don't have to be an asshole to you for you to break up. That I don't know where you get that from, but that's not how it has to be. You started dating him before lockdown, and then you've been locked down for months. So that means you haven't seen him. You stayed in touch, though. It was and is a casual relationship, but you felt like things were growing over Skype. How is that even possible? Okay. And then so he saw been seeing somebody else. He wanted to see you, but he couldn't because you was with your parents and you couldn't leave. Okay. So that was, that's what it was. It was what it was. It is what it is, as they say. You didn't leave to be around him, and so he found somebody else who would. That's what that is. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That was an opportunity that you missed because you was with your parents. So just chalk it up to that's what it was. And you have no reason to be feeling used and confused. What do you feel used about? You had a pen pal for the months you was in lockdown. Okay, because that's all you did. So what did you feel used and confused about, really? You said it was a casual relationship, if that. So where's this confusion coming in at? Y'all be some drama bitches. That's what this is. It's just, you just be creating bullshit in your head so that you can be all in your feelings about nothing. There's nothing here that you should be feeling confused or hurt about. You ain't seen the motherfucker for months. What is the problem? And this thing about, they feel confused, they only say that because they're trying to keep options open for some ass. They're hoping that you say, "Oh, I'm confused too," or that you be in competition to win him, so that he'll have two women fighting over him, while he gets to play that "I'm confused" game. Luckily, you didn't go for it, or did you? I don't know. You could have, but anyway, that's the game. That's the setup. That's what they always do. So being a woman with some sense, you said, "Well, have a nice life," and I'm out. And that's what you should do. Anytime they with somebody else and talk about they confused and they need to sort their situation out, that's a setup. Okay, setup for competition. Yeah, some drama bitches. That's like, we get time for that bullshit. That's some old grade school stuff. I like Johnny, and Johnny, Johnny likes me more than he likes you, Susie. Eh. It just drives me crazy. Question 17, male, 30 to 36, from Auckland, New Zealand. A former friend's father passed away recently. This friend was a childhood slash adolescent friend. I spent a lot of time at his house as a kid with his father chaperoning a lot of our activities and fun. This friend and I grew apart when we got to college. As we became adults, he became more of a social justice warrior, and we openly argued over political viewpoints. These weren't amicable, respectful debates. The further he delved into his convictions and the more it became his adult identity, the more arrogant and insufferable I felt he became. His father was much the same. As a kid, he was just a grown up hosting his son's friends and playing baseball. But as an adult, I saw that he largely set the example for what his son was to become. But I have fond memories of him nonetheless, and he featured prominently in my childhood. The last contact I had with this friend was at a wedding where we were not friends anymore. We were distant acquaintances at this wedding who were just slightly antagonistic towards each other. That was 6 years ago. I reactivated my Facebook just to check up on things the other week and saw that his dad had died. Part of me wants to reach out to this former friend and wish him condolences, but I don't want to permanently reactivate my Facebook to correspond with him for this one purpose. And I don't have his contact info. I'm also just not really sure where we stand now. I also want to pay my respects to his father. When his memorial is held, the funeral didn't take place because of COVID. Another part of me simply wants to mourn his father's death on my own terms. Before the social media age, I would never have known he died until maybe many years later. What are your thoughts? My thought is you and this dude haven't really been around each other, and it sounds like you didn't have no contact with his daddy either. So what the fuck are you doing? I mean, it's nice that you have fond memories of him and stuff. Let them stay in your big head. That's where they belong. Don't go around this guy because you don't know what his mental state is. Sometimes when people's parents die, they kind of lose it. And any remaining animosity that he might have towards you about his social justicing and all this stuff that would be the time when he would let it fly, and here you would be at the funeral and stuff, getting cussed out, possibly in a fist fight over, and not even know what the fuck is happening. Stay your ass at home. Don't send him nothing. Act like you didn't know. Okay, because really you have to think about it. If he wanted you to know, he could have reached out. Yeah, I'm sure he knows people that you know, right? They could have got the word to you if he really was if it was that important to him. Think of it that way. He didn't give a fuck, so you don't give one. That's my answer. The motherfucker's dead. I mean, what you want from me? Question number 18, male, 21 to 26, New York. My girlfriend of 1 year has a dad who's 60, who refuses to talk or meet me because of my skin color because he does not believe in interracial relationships. I am not allowed in her family home, though she does have a separate apartment. I am black and she is white. It's messing with me a lot because I'm always the kind of person that my friends' parents liked, and I always try to make a good impression on people. But this is the first time I've encountered a person who just won't talk to me or ignores me uh, because of the way I was born. It's making me miserable because my girlfriend has all the possible love and support from my parents, but I only feel it from the other people rather than her dad. It makes me feel unwelcome and unhappy, and I don't know if this is something to end the relationship over. My girlfriend has talked to her dad twice on the matter. He will not budge. She is not supportive of his ideals, and neither is her mom. Her family is generally kind to me, but I know I want to be treated better. At least I think I deserve to be treated better. Maybe I'm wrong and I should just tough it out and deal with it until I'm okay with it. I don't know. Also, I haven't told my parents about the issue because I don't want them to think anything other than good thoughts about my girlfriend's family. You are 21 to 26. You are a grown ass man, and you sitting up here whining because somebody's daddy don't like you because you black, and you like really in your feelings about this. Do you know girls' fathers won't like you because you are too educated, or you're not educated enough, because you smoke, because you drink, because you don't smoke, because you don't drink, because you don't hunt, because you do hunt, because you fish, because you don't fish, because you're vegan, because you're not vegan. I mean, do you understand that there's going to be people in this world that's just not going to like you just for whatever reason they have? Everybody's not going to like you, dude. Okay, and they don't have to. That's their right and privilege. They might not like your haircut. Okay, they don't like that you have tattoos. There's going to be a reason why people just don't like you. You need to man up and get over it. You can't be sitting around in your feelings like a little bitch, crying like this about somebody's daddy. You ain't married to the girl. He's not your father-in-law. You don't have no kids with her. You don't live there. That man is a non-motherfucking factor in your life. Okay, you sitting up here trying to make it one and getting all in your feelings about some bullshit. Man, you be my son and come to me with some bullshit like this. I would cut your little ass out and beat you all upside the head and all over your body. Coming to me like this. I didn't raise you to be no little bitch ass punk man like this. Oh, the daddy doesn't like me. I'm so hurt. I'm hurt. You sound like an idiot. Yeah, he's weak. He's just weak minded. You know, like I always try to be the person, because that my parents liked. Okay, that means you was a kiss ass. You playing a role. You trying to get everybody's approval. Well, you can't get everybody's approval in this life. Be your authentic self and just understand the only person that's important for you to like is you. Okay, nobody else has to like you. I mean, it's nice when they do. Like I have, people here that like me, but I'm sure there's some people in this audience that's listening to this just so they could go and downvote the video because they can't stand my ass. But they come here because they get pleasure from pressing that down arrow, I guess. I don't know. It's on every video. Sometimes it's on the down arrow before we even do the show. They just do it just because, on the strength, because I have a video up. So, that's just life, honey. Everywhere you go, it's going to be people that love you, and it's going to be people that can't stand your ass. Get over it, okay? And stop just whining. This shit here is just retarded. I know that's not a politically acceptable word, but I don't know nothing else that's better fit for it. It's stupid and retarded. And you don't need to tell what you going to tell your parents your business about your relationship for? That's another thing grown men don't do. So at least you haven't done that. But you don't go telling your parents everything. That's what grown men keep their business to themselves and they handle shit. You don't go whining to your mommy about every goddamn thing. That's a quick way to lose your woman. You need to grow up. You're very immature. Yeah, I just I'm telling you, if he was my son, I'd just be beating his ass. Question number 19, female, 26 to 29 out of Boston. My boyfriend and I have been off and on for about 8 years. We were high school sweethearts, and to say the least, we had quite the ride, including infidelity on both sides. Him being young and promiscuous, mistrust, and rejection. So to sum it up, we've just gotten back together again, and it's serious, but he's still dealing with some of the things that happened in our previous, far less mature relationship. It started off really well, and I thought we were falling in love again, but in every argument, the past comes up. He says let it go, but can't trust me. And I trust him to a certain extent. He's trying for me to trust him more. The trick is that I don't know how to make him trust me, and I trust that I love him and wanted to work with him no matter what. I'm completely committed to the relationship, and we have plans of starting a family together. I would just like to stop revisiting the past and move on in a positive way for the future. How can I, quote, make him trust me again? You can't. This is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. What you have, see, this is the thing a lot of girls don't understand. Y'all want to go back to some situation. It never was stable and sensible in the first place. You said all you did was break up and make up over 8 years. That's 8 years of your life you have wasted on this bullshit. Okay, now here you go. I'm talking about, the past and how it's going to keeps coming up. It's going to always come up. You know why? Because he can't get over it. He doesn't want to. And you know why? Because it's a weapon for him to use to beat you over the head with and to manipulate you. You know why? Because then he can make you say, well, I don't trust you. And you're going to jump through all kind of hoops to try to make him trust you. Being extra pleasing, doing all kind of shit that you wouldn't normally doing, reporting into him like he's a sergeant or some shit. All kind of stuff you're going to do because you want him to trust you. This is what you do to him. You tell him this. Trust this. Because that's all you getting out of me. I'm done here, sir. I already wasted 8 years. I'm not wasting another second of my life with you. Okay, you don't have to trust me, but you know what? Then you kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck if you trust me or not. I'm not going to be doing nothing special to try to get you to trust me either. So since you don't trust me, that's all I need to know. I'm out. And then you check up the deuces and you be out. You can't make nobody trust you. Okay, he's choosing not to. And he's choosing to use that as a tool, like I said, to beat you over the head with, to try to control you, and you falling right in line. I wish I would. This isn't even breadcrumbing. This is just bullshit game. Question number 20. Female 30 to 36 out of Phoenix. Oh no, the letter's on the next page. Hold on. I've been in an exclusive relationship with this guy in his late 40s for 6 months now. And last night he wanted because I am on my cycle. He said, I am good at it, blah, blah. And yes, I ended up giving it to him. And then done a few minutes later, he was like, I'm tired. You can go home now. Oh, these girls. I was like, okay, sure. And took my stuff and went to the front door. He was like, are you upset now? Or I was like, well, you could have kissed or hugged me or done something more affectionate, even if I'm on my cycle. You got yours, and now I should just leave? And he was like, I didn't say it like that. But then he changed his mind and said, yes, I did say it like that. I felt so degraded in a way and feel I should not see him again after this. But I'm not sure how to go about it. Should I text him or meet him in person, express even further how I feel? Deb, this happens every time. He never lets me sleep over. Always after eggplant is over, I have to leave sooner or later. But last night, it felt even more rushed than before. It was only in the beginning when we started dating, he offered me to sleep over twice, and he even asked me to move in. But I didn't because it was so early in the relationship. Now we're 6 months into dating. We've known each other for over 4 years, though, and I feel it should be okay to sleep over and hang out after eggplant. We just hang out 1 or 2 times a week on the weekends when he's not working, and he doesn't really text or try to talk to me like, how are you, good night, good morning, nothing during the week. If I don't initiate first, and then he'll reply with 1 word most of the time. Past month, I've been the one texting, asking to hang out, but he did try to reach out the past more these 2 weeks. He seems very cold and emotionally unavailable. I've tried to talk to him like 5 times about our bedroom issues, but he doesn't reciprocate either, but still denies there's any issues. But last evening felt horrible, and again I felt used and thrown out of his place like trash. That's because you were. Okay, this is my thing though. Okay, you say this happens every time. That should have happened, okay, no more. By the second time, that relationship should have been over. Okay, the first time you say, what the fuck was that? And you could have broke up with him over that. But most women aren't. They're going to say, well, and dude will be like, oh, I didn't realize that's how it came off, blah, 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 blah. They're going to have an excuse. And y'all going to roll with it. And then, it's going to happen again or not. But in your case, you say it happens every time. This is how he is. He don't call you, nothing. So you just delivered eggplant services. You spend your gas and time to drive over there, give him some free hoe services. That's essentially what it is. And then you get tossed out. You don't even get paid. So I hope you understand what's going on here. You're just being used. And there's nothing really to break up. Since he doesn't really text or call you and reach out to you, he probably won't even notice that you're gone until his dick gets hard. And then he'll be like, oh, where's what's her face that used to come over and suck on me? She's not here. Oh, I wonder what happened to her. Let me call her and see if she'll come over. I don't know what to tell you. This is some bullshit. I wish you young women would value yourselves more. There's no way in this world that this you should be being accepting this kind of behavior, this kind of treatment. And you know, when the guys, when you let them do stuff like this and treat you this way, you couldn't possibly think he's gonna respect or love you. Even if he did like you, the fact that you let yourself be treated so shabbily, it makes them lose respect and affection for you because they see you don't have any value to yourself. So a man who's got some decent level of self-esteem is not going to waste his time loving you because you don't love yourself. He wants a woman to have some pride about herself, who thinks she has value, that he can look at and say, yeah, my baby's got it going on. You don't offer that. You just show up like a little wagging tail puppy, delivering services, and then you get tossed out on your ass, and then you come back again for more. Nah. Nah. Well, we don't even know if he used all of that because I don't know that that happened, but in whatever, condom or not, it don't even matter. The point is that after he does his business, he tosses her out like, yesterday's newspaper, used Kleenex or something. Question 21, female 18 to 21, Melbourne, Australia. My boyfriend has been a lot meaner to me. He used to make jokes, but I could tell when they were jokes. Now it's just plain mean and rude. He calls me bro. He says I sound stupid. And when I tell him I miss him, he says, I don't know what to say. Thank you, LOL. I asked if this is a joke and he's not feeling me anymore, just tell me. And he said, saying I miss you is so cliche. And I asked why does it feel that way? He sent me an eye rolling emoji. I don't know what's going on and why it feels like he hates me so much. The only thing I can say we're quarreled about was that I told him he's not there for me as he doesn't prioritize me at all, and I'm always the one asking to see him. Another desperado. However, when I do see him, he'll hold my hand at night when we sleep. I'm confused. Is he cheating? Does he want out? Or is it that simple fact that he can't tell me straight up that he doesn't love me? I feel so hurt that I don't even know how to treat him now. I just feel like staying quiet and fall back 2 steps and see what he does. But at the same time, I want to tell him it's over. But at this time, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. We've been together for 9 months. We've already met each other's family. So, what's that got to do with anything? You 18 to 21, you a kid. You can't possibly think this is your one and only, going to be with him for the rest of your life and all that happily ever after fairy tale shit. This is a little knucklehead. And, you say he doesn't ask to see you. You always want to ask him to see you. He doesn't prioritize you. And then he talks to you mean and rude, and you still call him your boyfriend. What's wrong with you? This should have been over. Okay, the first time he's just acting stupid, you say, look, you talk to me like that again, this shit here is done. I'm not doing that. I don't know what kind of women you've been used to dealing with, but I'm not that one. Okay, that's his warning, like the rattlesnake shakes the tail before they strike. Okay, everything gets a warning. And then it's after that, you strike. As in your case, strike out on your own away from him. But you don't know how to treat him. You don't treat him anyway. You just fire him. Say, this is a stupid situation here. You're dumb and I'm out. That's what you do. Question 22 of 24. We got this question and 2 more. Yeah, thank you. I'd be like, thank you. Sit on a fork and twirl. How about that? Male, 21 to 26 from Des Moines, Iowa. I work at a cafe in a mall as a cashier during the weekends. I take orders and then send customers to the side for them to pick up. I don't have much time to really converse with them. Anyway, there's this girl I've seen quite a bit who comes in as a regular. She works in a mall as well. Okay, I really want to talk to her and possibly become more than just friends. However, I get super anxious and nervous. I can't even look at her in the eyes properly. My breathing becomes short breaths. I become tense. My voice becomes super quiet. I just want to run away. I am not really a social person. I talked to a psychotherapist about this, and she told me that I have social anxiety. Oh, one thing I guess I should mention is I have depression, and I am taking medication. I always fantasize about this dream girl who I spend time with, and I just feel so down when I think about how I will never find anyone and how other people in relationships are doing. How are there so many young people under the age of 25 on antidepressants? What the fuck is going on? Anxiety, depression. Have you guys noticed that? So many. It's just insane to me. I just can't understand it. What in the world is going on? Okay, anyways, back to the girl. He says, I've told myself countless times throughout the weekdays that I will talk to her once and for all. When it's time to take her order, I become nervous and puss out. I make excuses for myself, saying, oh, she came in with a friend today. I can't really have a nice conversation to get to know her. Or, oh, I don't want her to feel awkward around me and scare her away, so I won't say anything. Or, she is out of my league. To be honest, I think about this girl a lot. And I know I shouldn't. Sometimes I get annoyed by it because it distracts me from doing things. I'm not athletic as built as some guys. I don't consider myself to be good looking. I don't really socialize much. And I feel like people won't be able to connect with me since my interests seem weird. I play a lot of games, watch shows, and listen to non-mainstream music. I don't know. I just want to be able to talk to her, but I am way too anxious and awkward. I think the reason why I'm being held back is that I am afraid of being rejected and dealing with that emotional pain afterwards. Then I will have the thought that no one will love me. How can I talk to this girl with confidence and ask her out? Oh my God, dude, you have gone from like having a conversation to nobody in the whole world is going to love you. You know what? That's you're doing this to yourself. Stay in the moment. You running down, you all around the world with this stuff. You terrifying yourself. The girls don't have nothing to do with this. You're talking failure and misery and pain and emotional devastation. You giving yourself all of these messages. You're doing that to yourself. Okay, let's go through this. Okay, you work at the thing. So I see. So you take the orders and then they go down to pick it up like they do at Starbucks, I guess. Because you know how they had a person ringing you up and then you go down and you wait and you pick it up at the other end. It's probably a situation like that. Okay, so she comes in and she's with a friend today. Okay, so you can always say, well, how are you two ladies doing today? Hi, Miss whatever. I see you in here all the time. What's your name? How hard is that? And she'll tell you. And so then when she comes in, you start greeting her by her name, right? And say, oh, well, my name is whatever your name is. And then you just do it. I mean, what is that? What is the big deal here? You think somebody's going to reject you because you ask them their name and you ask them, say you see them there a lot and stuff, you're regular? I mean, okay. And then what's your next thing? You have her fantasizing about a dream girl and think about how I will never find anyone and how other people in relationships are doing. You're just like poisoning yourself with all of this. Stay in the here and now. Right now, all that she's doing is ordering her whatever at the counter. You greeting her. That's it. That's all you think about. Make a good impression in this moment. Don't think about nothing else. Okay, then, or you say, oh, I feel awkward and I scare her away, so I won't say anything. Or she's out of my league. Listen to all this defeatist conversation. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. On my blog on surviving dating, I have an article about men with a defeatist mentality. Read it. On this channel here on YouTube is a thing about men being afraid of rejection and being cowards. Listen to those. And they might give you some hints about how to buck up. Because you're never going to get nowhere in life like this. Nowhere. No woman wants a guy who's scared of his own shadow. Now, you say that you're not athletic or built like some guys. What you doing about it, though? You say that that's the case. What you doing? Are you exercising? Did you get some weights? Did you get a kettlebell? That adds muscles fast. Get you two 18-pound kettlebells or 20 pounds or something, and you start lifting, hurling those suckers around. You'll be buffed up in no time. Okay? You have to do something, sir. You're not doing anything but sitting there in your head. You don't socialize much and you play a lot of games and watch shows and stuff. Are you making any effort to socialize? Do you get out the house or you just go to work and go home? What do you do with people your own age? Do you go to any parties, any clubs, any events where young people hang out? What are you doing with your life? And I'm going to tell you something about rejection, too. You know the only people that never get rejected? People that don't do shit. You know the people that never fail at anything? People that never do shit. So, you know how Michael Jordan said, the reason why he's a winner and a champion is because he failed like a million times, but then he became a winner. That's what it takes. If you're going to risk success, you're going to risk failure. If you want to just make sure that you stay in the safe zone, you never going to do nothing. You always going to just stay exactly the way that you are because it's safe. So you have to decide. You sit up there with all these dreams and wishes, but you're not doing nothing. Okay? It's nice that you wrote me, but I mean, I can't do this for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people like that. They don't do nothing. They don't try because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of failure. So they feel like, they have to just play it safe. You're never going to get nowhere in life like that, sir. Question number 23, female, 26 to 29 from Lansing, Michigan. I'm a 32-year-old woman who's with my child's father for 8 years. We never got married. We have a 10 and a 5-year-old. We broke up about 3 years ago, and I'm now ready to start dating again. My issue is that my children's father never wants to see or get the kids. Whenever it is his scheduled time to get them, he always has some excuse to why he can't. For example, he may say he has to go out of town for family. His car broke down. He's broke, etc. It's always something. Like one time I called him and let him know that we were at his house so I could drop off the kids to him, and he told me that he was out of town. I didn't call before I went because he was already scheduled on our calendars, and the time I would drop off. He told me he was out of town, but the whole time I'm looking at his car in the driveway. We also share a cell phone plan, so I know he was at home. He does not tell me in advance or whenever he finds out either. I never make a big deal about it. I can't force a man to want to see his kids. But I have someone that I'm trying to date at the moment, and I try to schedule time around when the children are going to be with their dad. I'm always having to cancel my dates because of this, and he's very understanding so far. I don't know how much longer he'll be understanding. I really like this man. I do have parents that are more than helpful, but I try not to ask them that much because my dad is recovering from a stroke. My mom has autoimmune disease and is in pain a lot. They enjoy being with the grandkids, but I try not to leave them there for more than a couple of hours. I'm not comfortable with my children meeting this man I'm dating yet. I feel it's not serious enough, and it will only juice them to any man I'm dating when it's serious. I really don't know what to do. I really want to start dating again, but at this point, I feel like I need to wait until the kids are older. Any advice? What your ass don't know how about hiring a babysitter? Is that a foreign concept? You just because he can't, daddy don't keep him, you don't can't have a babysitter? This is what you do. You better be keeping a calendar of all the days that he missed. Go back to court and get his child support increased because child support is based on the time that he has the children. Since he's not having the children, he needs to pay more child support. The child support that you get from him and the increased child support, you can use to pay a babysitter. End of story. That's what you're going to do. Okay? That problem is solved. That was an easy one. Yep. Because his child support got reduced because of his, the hours they consider he was going to have joint custody. He don't have joint custody. So you show all the days and times he was supposed to pick him up, and he didn't. And our excuses that he gave. Make sure you keep a log. And then you go to court and you attach that. Okay? And you tap his ass for more money. Because you have the kids 100% of the time, his ass needs to be paying double child support. And then you have plenty of money for a babysitter. Got it? Okay. Question 24, female 30 to 36 out of St. Louis. This is the last question of the show. Oh, my God. My husband and I have been having arguments for the past few months, but we still manage to reconcile. Most of our arguments are because I spend too much money, and I accept that. I know I have that problem, but he checks our bank account every 30 minutes. And every time I buy something, he is like, what did you buy? Why did you spend so much money? These arguments about money are every single day. I am exhausted. Yesterday, we went to a family gathering. He spent the whole time mad at me with a serious face. And my whole family was asking what was wrong with him. When we got home, we started arguing again, but in a more conversational way. But things got heated, and he said, you can be sure that if we separate, I'm going to fight in court for our daughter to be 2 weeks with you and 2 weeks with me. That's when I lost it because I couldn't believe he was threatening me with my own daughter. So I started crying. I packed some things and told him I wanted a divorce and I didn't want to be with him anymore and left the house. He didn't say a word. He sat on the sofa, kind of enjoying the show while I having a glass of wine. I left the house, came to my aunt's house, and spent the night here. He hasn't even called. He hasn't even texted. He doesn't know where I am or if something bad happened to me. It's like he didn't care at all. Yesterday, I woke up thinking I want this divorce more than yesterday. Why would I be with someone who doesn't give a damn about me? Not sure if I should go home and face the problem. Fun fact, today is our wedding anniversary. Okay, let me start with the read because I'm about to ream your ass. You're 30 to 36-year-old. Do you not look around? Did you not understand that we are in a pandemic? Do you know that businesses are failing and there's millions and millions every week of Americans filing for unemployment? Do you know the financial devastation that many families are facing? And you sitting up there running your husband into the bankruptcy court, spending money to feel good about yourself? That's what you're doing. You lucky he hasn't cussed your ass out. I mean, like smooth all the way out. And you write me with this bullshit right here? Lady, okay, you're extremely selfish. Extremely selfish. All you do is think about yourself. This whole letter is about yourself. Okay, now let's talk. What did you buy? What did you buy so much? This is what your husband should have been doing. He should have set you up a separate account and put $100 in it. $100 a week. That's all you get. You spend it doing whatever the fuck you want to do. When it's gone, that's all you get. You're not getting no more money. You ain't spending shit else. That's what I would do if you were my wife. You would not get nothing. Okay? And I wouldn't care if you didn't like it. Because we're not going to bankruptcy court in the middle of a pandemic behind your ass buying stupid shit that you don't even need. Okay, then, he was mad at you. Yeah, I would be mad at you too because you just like thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the money that you're spending and the wasting and the pressure that is putting you, your husband, and the household and your daughter under. All you're thinking about is, well, I want it, so I'm going to buy it. And you know this thing about fighting to get joint custody? Do you realize that is like a normal thing, right? Everybody in the world gets joint custody these days. Okay, so 2 weeks with you, 2 weeks with him. I mean, he can fight for that. Doesn't mean it's going to get granted, but he has every right to have joint custody of his child. What's wrong with you? It's not just your daughter. It's y'all's daughter. And if she has a close relationship with her daddy, she will enjoy the 2 weeks she spends with him just like she enjoys the 2 weeks that she spends with you. You doing the most. And then, you know, you can't say nothing about him not calling you and hunting you down and stuff because you left. You abandoned your husband and your daughter. That's what you did. So if he took that to court tomorrow, you didn't call. You didn't tell your daughter nothing. You ain't called to check on your baby. You didn't give a fuck. You just took off and left because your feelings was hurt and because you was mad because you want to spend more money. So see, he could flip that around on you and your ass will be in a noose. You thinking like, well, he should have texted me to say, no, 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 no. That was your job. He's there with your child. You're supposed to call and check on your child if you don't check on nothing else. But you didn't do that because your lip is stuck out because you're immature and stupid. You need to grow up, lady. Grow up real quick. You're just doing the most. I wouldn't call you either. And you know what you might be facing, you know, you going to get a divorce. You think you're going to have a lot of money to spend? You're going to be the brokest you've ever been. You're going to wish you had just acted right and stayed in that house where you had two incomes. That's what you're going to wish. I don't know. From everything I see here, the one who's doing the stupid stuff here and fucking up their marriage is you. It's not your husband. It's you. You are the guilty party here, madam. Just totally messing up. So, yeah, it is. I mean, every week, millions more Americans file for unemployment. And she up here buying trinkets. And shit, her husband telling her to stop. And she's like, but I wanted to. He's checking the bank account every 30 minutes. I would put a block on it so you couldn't spend, you know, take all your credit cards. I would put you in a noose. You wouldn't be getting all of that. We put my money separate. You can fuck up your money if you want to. Yeah. The absolute and uttermost. Yes, she is. It's terrible. I just don't even understand a grown woman acting like this. You know, like I said, in the middle of this economic instability, that we're in. This is not the time to be going buck wild buying a bunch of unnecessary shit. This is the time to save your money because you might need it in a few months just to eat and live off of. You just never know how things are gonna, how things are gonna roll. So she's doing too much. Like Ken's MV, the absolute and uttermost. I like that phrase. Yeah, it's extremely irresponsible and it's very self-centered. So, but like I said, she left and bounced out the house, ran to her auntie's house, didn't give a fuck about calling to check on her kid. So I'm telling you, if I was him, I'd be using that in court against you. You would wish you had not done that. I would be like, oh yes, and she abandoned me and she abandoned her child. She didn't call to check on me. We didn't know where the fuck she was. And the baby cried. See, I would embellish. The baby cried all night. It was terrible. I could that she was inconsolable. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where the mama was. And since she wasn't calling, I just felt like she left. So I shouldn't be chasing her down. If she had any interest in her child, she would have called to check on her. But she never did. Oh, I would play. Oh, honey, I would have violins playing in the court. People would be like, I would make up be the big old story about how sad the baby was. And what you gonna say? You can't deny it because you wasn't there. So guess whose story's gonna go on record? Mine, not yours, because you was at your auntie's house. Yeah, but she's not with like a true nigga. She with somebody who's trying to be nice. But if she was a true nigga, she would be like, she wouldn't be acting like this. She wouldn't be acting like this. She would have herself together. So, yeah, that's the show. 24 questions today. I just didn't even know what to do with myself. That was a lot. But thanks you guys for hanging in there. Even though I was late getting here, breaking speed records. Ooh, good thing I didn't get pulled over. Ooh, I would have got a big old fat speeding ticket. But yeah, I did make it. And so the show went on as usual. Um, yeah, we're officially in a recession. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So many people unemployed. But you guys take care. Um, I'm going to be setting up an interview. I'm still looking for people that want to talk about their relationships with convicts. That's on the community wall if you want to fill out that form. Just send me an email to debsterism@gmail.com if you were married to or dated someone who was in prison for more than 5 years. I had to make kind of a cutoff because, local jail, that's not that. No. I'm talking about federal or state penitentiary. And you was with this man and he had a 5 or more year sentence. I want to hear from you. Debsterism@gmail.com. I'm doing the first interview in that new series on Saturday. So I'm going to try to put it up on Sunday so we can get started with that. But thanks you guys for coming. Everybody for showing up. Lady Boss for being so wonderful as usual. And for all of those who submitted their letters and trust me to provide them with guidance and instruction on living better and making smarter choices, thank you very much for putting your trust in me. I appreciate it. And everybody who came tonight. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Might be doing a pop-up. You just never know. So be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out and hit the like too. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.